Welcome to Enlightened Game with Slim Sir, as he takes the lessons he learned from the streets, commonly known as the game, and applies them to everyday life, helping everyday people win the game of life, focusing on relationships, money, and the winner's lifestyle. This podcast will turn any chump into a champ. So if you're ready, let the game begin. And now, your host, the most valuable player himself, Slim Sir.
Welcome to Enlightened Game. I am Slim Sir. This is my audio notebook and my therapy session. And I want to start by saying thank you to all of you listeners out there. We have reached a milestone. It might be a small milestone for some, but it's big for me, and I want to say thank you. We have reached over 100 subscribers on YouTube, and I'm very, very proud of that. And I want to thank each and every one of you for subscribing and for listening to me. Before I get the show started, before I get the episode started, I want to do something a little bit different. I want to start offering my shameless plug in the beginning, because sometimes I get so deep in the conversation and I forget to ask you to go over to slimsir.com and purchase a copy of Glory to the Game. It is a book that I prayed as I was writing it, with hopes that we could save our brothers and our sisters from prison and from death and from drugs and from depression and all of these things that plague our people. And that's a great segue for today's episode. We want to talk today about frustration and depression. And I'm an expert on that, because if you've listened to my podcast, you know that for a long time I dealt with depression. I'm a survivor of 2 suicide attempts. I have a scar on my left wrist that is always going to be there. Nasty scar. And don't have a whole bunch of feeling in my left hand because of what I did. My middle finger and my thumb and the palm of my hand has been numb since that time. I think I was 19 when I did it. I'm 44 now. So you do the math, how long ago that was. But I know all about frustration. I know all about depression, so let's talk about it. Some of us are depressed. Many of us are frustrated. And the reason why we're frustrated, we don't know, and which causes us to be more frustrated. And a lot of us don't understand the root cause for our depression. And so it makes us more depressed. And in our frustration and in our depression, we pick up weed, cigarettes, drinking, having sex, drugs, all types of negative things. Ask me how I know. Right? I wasn't a drug addict, but I damn sure picked up weed and cigarettes. I damn sure did a lot of sex, did a lot of crazy shit that I wasn't supposed to do, because I was just trying to get away from being depressed and being frustrated with life. That's real. I'm not proud to say it, but that's the reality. That's the actual fact of my life. That's what I went through. It wasn't until recently that I took some time off of writing and doing the podcast to just think and to study, because sometimes you need that. And I realized what the root cause of frustration was. You see, I would be less than a man if I solved the problem, but I didn't share it with my audience. So this is what I learned about why people get frustrated. Whenever a person gets frustrated or depressed, it's because they don't have an answer to their problem. The reason why you get frustrated is because you don't know the answer. Because if you knew the answer, you wouldn't be frustrated. You wouldn't be depressed. So as a sign now. Whenever you feel yourself frustrated or you feel yourself depressed, then you know the answer to your frustration and depression is you need more knowledge. You need a greater knowledge. You need more knowledge to help you out of this frustrating and depressing situation. Now, that we know that, when you're frustrated, what do? You go pick up a book. That's good. But the real source of knowledge is not in a book. The real source of knowledge is in a person that you can call your friend and you can sit down with and talk to one-on-one and express what's going on in your mind and in your heart. And that person may not have all of the answers or any of the answers for you, but the ability to talk to someone that you consider a peer, an equal, a brother or a sister. That's very, very important to our own mental health. And what I have learned is that when you have these sorts of friends, these types of friends, number one, it gives value to your life. It gives value to your life. The opposite of that is not having these friends in your life that you can talk to, and that means that you don't have that value in your life. Your life has little less value, right? Which is deep within itself. Now, sometimes you talk to your friends, getting it out, right? And that's when the answer comes. See, sometimes your friend don't have the answer for you. And I don't want us to be in the habit of when we have a problem, we go and run and go talk to everybody. No, you must have one friend in your life. You know, you may have a lot of associates, but have that one friend, that one confidant, that one person that you got history with, right? That you confide in, that you talk to, that you bounce ideas around. And a lot of times when you're bouncing those ideas off of this person or around with this person, exchanging ideas, just talking, that's when you get a new perspective. See, when we're frustrated and depressed, the solution to that is to have a new perspective. Because the perspective that we have resulted in us being frustrated and depressed. If you want to not be frustrated and depressed, you need a new perspective. And a lot of times we get a new perspective when we have someone that we can call our friend and have a talk with. See? Now, the root cause of us being frustrated and depressed is that we need a greater knowledge. But the cause of that is we're not in the habit of being students. We are great when it comes to Instagram or YouTube. We're professionals when it comes to that. But when it comes to finding the answers to life's problems, we suck at that. Straight up. What I'm asking you to do is what I have done myself. Put down the damn Instagram for a moment. Put down the YouTube for a moment. Put down your phone for a moment and really think about your life and try to solve some of the problems in your life. And I'm pretty sure that you're going to look at some problems and you're not going to have the answers, and that's going to cause frustration. What I'm asking you to do now is, after you've tried to solve this problem on your own and you can't, then call your friend, your trusted friend, and bounce those ideas off of your friend to get a new perspective. And maybe your friend may not have the answer. At that point, what I'm asking you to do is go get a mentor, someone who is good at what you want to be good at, someone who's doing what you want to be doing. You see, a lot of times we waste time trying to figure things out on our own when there are people out there with the experience that are willing to give us if we just ask. Now, here's the important part of it. All right? Your life, if you're a very smart player in this game of life, your life should be spent developing friendships. Now, you're not going to have a whole bunch of close friends, but you should develop relationships with people who know how to do things that you want to do, who are in positions of power where you desire to be someday. And ask them questions. And most times you will notice that they're very, very impressed by the fact that you ask them a question and they will give you wisdom freely. And this is another type of friend. So then there are two types of friends that I'm talking about. You got a friend that you close with, a confidant that holds your secrets. You hold their secrets very, very close. And then you have another type of friend who's like a mentor that you go to for knowledge when you are frustrated and you need a new and a higher perspective or specialized knowledge from this particular person who's good at what you're trying to be good at. And these, if you put it all together, will end or help solve your frustrations. Because we only get frustrated when we don't know what to do. Now, you know what to do even when you don't know what to do. See, here's what you do when you don't know what to do. Try to figure it out yourself. When you can't do that, call your friend, your confidant. Bounce those ideas off of your friend. If y'all two can't figure it out, you'll at least have a new perspective. And if with that new perspective, it should lead you to seek a mentor, someone who's skilled at what you want to be skilled at. A lot of times we try to get into industries without the guidance of a mentor. And you can, but you will be wasting time, energy, and resources. And in the great scheme of things, time is something that we really don't have the liberty of wasting. So it is intelligent that if you don't know something, to go ask for help. You're not less of a person when you go ask for help. A student is no less of a person when they go to school to learn from their teacher. In fact, if you know that you don't know, you are extremely wise to humble yourself to someone who knows so that you can be taught and trained so that you could know. You understand? So these are lessons that I've learned. And why am I bringing all of this up about frustration and depression? Because if you notice, our people, black people, Spanish people, we are very, very frustrated and depressed people. Very frustrated and depressed. And if we don't solve this problem of being frustrated and depressed, what happens is we act out. Most times it is violently. And most times the people that we act out violently on are the people who are closest to us. So if you don't want to hurt those who are close to you or don't want to be hurt by those who are close to you, it is wise to be able to fix the problem, solve the problem of being frustrated, right, for yourself, and solving the problem of others, knowing how to solve it for them so that they are not frustrated and depressed. Anyway, I hope you got the wisdom in that, and I got 29 seconds. I know I gave a shameless plug in the beginning, but this is my show, so I can give another motherfucking shameless plug at the end. Damn, I think I did the whole podcast without cursing until just now, and I'm sorry. Anyway, go to my website, slimsir.com. Tell a friend, all right? Share this YouTube with all of your friends. I'm not on Facebook or Twitter like that. Share this on Facebook and Twitter. But most of all, thank you for listening. Peace.